Michael Scott, you write much of the things, or you draw about Israel. Michael, you are a politic cartoonist. For you first, how difficult it is to express what is happening in Israel in a cartoon? And what do you think about what the cartoons are all around the world saying about what's happening in Israel and its life in Israel? And for Scott, what do you see when you write about Israel to explain to the people to see what is happening in Israel today and what is the real thing that is happening in Israel and all around there with their neighborhoods?
I had a flashback listening to your question. It was 2007 in the Salon de Livre in Paris, and I was presenting my book Homesick. And as I told you before, my book Homesick, one of the stories in the book is a story of an Arab construction worker. So when the book came out in Israel, there was a big conversation, a big discussion about this book, and a lot of people were telling me, wow, we never had an opportunity to listen to the story of the other, to the story of the other side. For the first time, we were able to empathize with an Arab, with a Palestinian. Now, in the Salon de Livre, I was talking with French people, and when we finished our presentation, by the way, it was along with Modan, which is another caricaturist. And when we finished the presentation, a Frenchman, quite an old man, he raised his hand and he said, well, I was listening to you and I have to say, I never imagined Israelis are like this. I had a totally different image in my mind watching the news. And I'm deeply surprised from what I'm hearing in this session. I think this is one of the things that literature does. It can bring back the ability of the reader to see other people as human beings. And in the place that I come from, sometimes this ability is lost. You are used, or you are taught to see the other as an enemy, or to see the other as totally different from you, as the opposite from you. And one of the things that literature can do, books can do, is bring you back to the understanding that actually there is much more in common between people than differences. I feel it when I write, I feel it. My books are translated now since 2007. I've been book touring for 8 years, and I find that whenever I think that something is local, it turns out to be global. Whenever I think that my story is very Israeli, then I find out that it can be understood outside of Israel. That friendship is friendship is friendship. That relationships are relationships. And that problems in relationships are worldwide. That the way that men fall in love it doesn't change from Israel to France or to Mexico. And if you have a tragedy in a family, it's not something that is local or private. It can be understood. It can cross the borders of nationalism and racism and all the extremist kind of attitudes that we have in our world. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but this is how I feel about writing.
In answer to your question, as a cartoonist, first of all in Israel, we have total freedom of expression as cartoonists. This freedom is not the same for everybody, because we have the occupied territories who are administrated by the army still, until the solution will be found. And I have Palestinian colleagues in East Jerusalem. I live in West Jerusalem. He cannot draw whatever he wants, and he cannot say whatever he wants. There's a censorship. But he knows the limits.
That's because of Israel, or that's because for the Palestinian that he doesn't have that liberty?
This is because of the occupation. Okay? But Israel is a democratic country. Okay? But there's a problem over there. So, most of the people, as Eshkol said, know Israel Israel through the screen, TV screen or computer screen, and they hear of Israel just when there's a bombing or an intifada or a war with Gaza. They don't know that in Israel there are real people with real lives. They don't know that the civil society of Israel and the civil society of Palestine have a lot of projects together, because news are just for bad news, they are not for good news. This is what people are used to listen. They eat their dinner and they want to know how much dead and how many blood. This is so interesting. So I draw about the conflicts, I criticize my government freely. I don't care if they are happy with what I do, if they are not happy. This is the democracy, and democracy has a price. The other thing is that I'm a member of an organization called Cartooning for Peace. And Cartooning for Peace was created in 2006, after the publication of the Muhammad cartoons in Denmark, if you remember. There were demonstrations in the Muslim world, there were people who were killed in the streets, they were burning Danish embassies and flags, and on the way also some Israeli flags for the same price. So Plantu, who is the main cartoonist of Le Monde, the French leading newspaper, has created in the United Nations with Kofi Annan an organization in the framework of which cartoonists from countries in conflicts could meet. So since that period, I have colleagues from all the Arab world, not only Palestinians, Lebanon, Algeria, Egypt, and Iran, which is not an Arab country, okay? It's a Muslim country, it's different. And by the way, the Cartooning for Peace Association has been in the center of a wonderful documentary movie made in France 2 years ago. And Boligan, the cartoonist, the Mexican cartoonist, Angel Boligan, for which newspaper does he work only?
No, he's Cuban.
Yeah.
But he lives in Mexico.
Yes, he's Cuban, he lives in Mexico for years. And also Raima Suprani. Raima Suprani is the leading cartoonist of Venezuela. And she had to move to France because she was persecuted also by Chavez and also by what's the name?
Maduro.
Absolutely. And now she's on her way back to Venezuela. So this association gave me the opportunity to meet cartoonists from all over the world. And now, when I see the world, I see them through their personalities. It makes the world much more human to me, and less stereotypic. And I try to avoid stereotypes for another reason, which is connected to my book. The Jews is probably the people who have suffered the more of stereotypes, anti-Semitic cartoons during the war. So when I do cartoon, I try to express myself, but I'm very sensitive to the feelings of others. And I try to be strong, but not to hurt just for the pleasure of hurting. Okay, so I think that somehow I'm the cartoonist that I am because of the story of my family, somehow.
Thank you.